Good afternoon, St. Mary's. We are back here. It's been a while. Sorry, I abandoned you for a couple weeks. I think that we're going to start, hopefully for the next TRE, we can have he doesn't or she doesn't have to feel the pressure of making videos every week. That's just kind of a me thing. But there's amazing, amazing speakers. It's actually awesome if you think about it. We're the only generation, like one of the only generations, who's had access to all the saints, all the best preachers, all of everything that we would need to equip ourselves to be just like amazing Catholics. So Father Mike Schmidt's obviously one of them. He has a Bible in a Year app, which is really super helpful. Even for me, I'm listening to this stuff. It's like, oh yeah, that's why Catholics believe what we believe, and it's right there in the Bible. So it's really helpful. Father Mike Schmidt, he has got an online app. So you can just kind of pull it up on your phone, download it, and then I just listen to it as I'm going to bed. And you don't have to read it, you can just listen to it. So not the best way to do the Bible in a year, but that's the only way I've been able to do it. So that is that. I'm trying to think, why did I even start talking about that? Oh, so we'll hopefully, we'll just combine them. So I'll do on the weeks that I can the weekly video and then send out either Father Mike Schmitz or somebody else for the following ones. So the thing I want to talk to you about today, I was in prayer, and this kind of just like struck me, and it might sound intense, but it was, the title of this is going to be sentences only written in hell, and what that means, or like what I was kind of experiencing in prayer, is that there's certain things certain thoughts that come into our mind, certain ideas that are only from the devil, right? It's not like, is that from God? Is that from me? Is that from the devil? Like, where's that influence coming from? It's very much, the reality is that there's certain ones where God would never say to us, right? And it's pretty easy actually to distinguish, right? And with prayer, I that's why I love prayer. I've grown more accustomed to talking to God in my life than people. Like, I just enjoy that experience. So the conversations are like, they're not, they don't bring the same satisfaction. Like, one of the greatest satisfactions we can receive as a human being is conversing with our neighbors, right? Or our friends, or a loved one, or a spouse. Like, there's not really a greater pleasure. I would say it would be pretty weird to bump into somebody and say, I would rather eat a burger than spend a time with my best friend. Like, that would, in my mind, there would be something wrong with that person. The priorities are mixed up. And even on a rational level, like, that would throw me some concern there. And so yeah, but like, speaking with God, once we like learn how to do that, once we have like a very deep prayer life and we can actually go back and forth with God on the deepest level of our souls, there's nothing that can even really get close to comparing. And actually what'll happen is your regular conversation will start to lose, like the conversation we just have with human beings, will start to lose its flavor. Not in a bad way, but it's just, you'll start to hunger for that conversation with God because it's so profound, so deep. But one of the things that I kind of felt in my prayer the other day was the lies that the devil feeds us. And if you don't think he's feeding you lies, you are very sorely mistaken. He is very quietly at work in all of our lives, right? That is the teaching of the church. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Like, that is the reality that each of us are, and some of the exorcists, like a general consensus of exorcists, is that we all have a guardian angel, and we all have an angel which is assigned to tempt us. And at the fall, at the beginning of time, when the angels were first on the scene, they had to make a decision. And they either chose to follow God's will for them or chose to not follow it. And so this is just speculation here, but it was done by pretty reliable and holy and learned theologians, that some of the guardian angels who were supposed to be looking after us, like that was their mission, was either me or you or whoever, they chose against us. They chose, I will not serve, I will not lead this person to a potential greater perfection than me myself. And so that angel potentially is assigned to you as your tempter. Like that is the so. But we've been given a different guardian angel, but the reality still holds that the angel that is assigned to us. And the demon that is not assigned to us particularly, but is trying to stop our mission here on Earth, is could be the one that chose not to be our guardian angel. So again, like I'm getting into the weeds there, but it is a reality that we do have these negative thoughts that the devil plants in our hearts so that he can move us away from God. And this is just normal experience. Like look back to the last time you felt temptation and you're sitting on the fence and you really felt like your fire was getting bigger and bigger, right? I really wanted to do X, Y, or Z, and I knew that I wasn't supposed to. That's like the actual reality that they can influence us. They can enhance those emotions even of wanting to do it bad. So it is so it's something that's very interesting, very important that we're careful of what thoughts are coming into our hearts and causing us interior peace, which are the fruits of the Holy Spirit, which is peacefulness, right? That's one of the fruits of the Holy Spirit, is that we know that the Lord is guiding us through peace. Oftentimes, Satan uses the opposite, right? He likes to agitate us and cause us disturbances in our hearts and just push us to do something that is contrary to the commandments of God. So that's a reality that takes place. But keeping in mind that some thoughts that, like we are, how do I say it? Something that I think that I was praying with the other day was, we all like struggle maybe with a sense of self-negativity, self-criticism, unworthiness, right? Just like, hey, like look at this, look at all of these things, or do we question our goodness, right? Because most of the time, I would say most people have this problem of thinking we find our mistakes a lot easier than we find our perfections or the good things about us, right? It's easier to see a mistake. We just feel that more intensely. And so what I think will happen a lot of the time is the devil uses that reality in our lives to cloud us, to make us think that we're not good, and that we're deeply unlovable is kind of the word that is thrown around by the Catholic culture. And so just to be aware of that, I think is super important. So that is one of the sentences I would say that is written in hell, is the fact that demons want to make us feel as if we're not wanted by God, we're not good enough, we are consistently falling short, and gets us to look at something that's actually not true in God's eyes, right? If we're striving for Him, even if it's in the smallest ways, God takes profound delight. And so that's true. Any other thought that's either contrary to that or makes us believe otherwise is false, right? And we can just wash that away. So it's an interesting game. I think Ignatius of Loyola kind of talks about this whole subject, right? He has a book that talks about this whole thing, so I can't go into it. I'm already at 9 minutes here, but that is something that is part of our Catholic lives. That's part of our journeys. I just want to give you a little bit of exposure. It doesn't do it justice. Obviously, there's more to be said here, but I'm on a time crunch. I got a lot going on, so I will maybe continue to kind of give more information from St. Ignatius of Loyola and talk about discernment of spirits is what the term he uses is, and we can go into that more next week. All right, God bless you. Have a great day, and thank you for watching.